right, we just got here with the service truck. We're gonna put some fuel in the combines and just check them over, make sure everything's good. And let's just keep chopping away.
And like that, we're back down to like 25 bushel wheat. This is recrop wheat, so it wasn't fallowed last year. Fallowed means that nothing grew on it last year. We just sprayed it out, kept stuff from growing on it to build up a moisture reservoir in the water, basically a reserve that then the crop the next year can take advantage of.
Green spot down here in the bottom. Yeah, it was just.
So what we're on right now is recrop. In other words, we had peas growing here last year, so they took a lot of moisture out of the ground last year that could have been used for the crop this year. But the benefit is, if you take the amount of peas grown last year and the wheat grown this year, in the end you're on top. So that's kind of what we're doing. So it kind of stinks to grow lesser crops, but the fact that we're doubling up on crops, we get ahead. Hopefully. Just more work. But I like it that way. Better weed control.
There's a rabbit, go get him! Finally, for him, after a couple days of harvesting, he finally found a rabbit. And the chase is on. So, yep. Roadrunner, he's gonna get you this time. Are you back? All right, he's back from his, let's see, a little bit of dust there. It's either I put on more makeup or I clean the screen. All right, well, I guess I gotta come down here and help him up on the combine. That wasn't much fun for him, and wasn't that much fun for me either, one-handed. So anyway, we need to get going and see if we can scare up another hare.
You can operate the cart with the auger folded out. It's definitely doable. I did for a little while, but I kind of started thinking, the chances if I happen to clip one of the combines or an auger or something with that hanging out, it's just not worth it, especially because these aren't mine and I don't want to do any damage to them. So I fold it back every time to be safe. I think a lot of cart operators do that, but that's definitely up to the cart operator to decide that one. One thing I like watching too is the PTO shaft in this. Well, it pivots here and there, and then there's the hitch pivot, and then this whole unit tilts up and down depending on how you want the angle of your unloading auger. So with that, it shifts this PTO forward and back. So when you go on, that PTO shaft is like doing this all over, turning up, down, around, but it collapses in the center, and then it's got universal joints to the sides. So you would think it would eventually bind up, or I don't know. It's amazing. PTO shafts are pretty amazing. They're also very deadly. That's why it has a cover on it. But yeah, it's kind of fun to watch in the cab, seeing that thing move around. I guess this guy wants some grain. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to fill him all the way, but I can give him what I got. He can take it. And unfold. You keep unfolding until it cams over. There's like a lever there, and just keep going, and good. Now let me raise this up with this button. Tilt the nozzle down a little bit. First gear, nice and easy, no rush. Taking our time, right there. Keep the foot on the clutch, PTO engaged, throttle up to about 1800 RPM. Then I take my trigger finger here, I start opening the gate up. There we go. And now, I just carefully release the clutch on the tractor. There is already grain in that truck. I didn't even know that. Okay. Well, there's a big mound in the front now. See, that's what happens. This thing fills it up really fast. Well, I guess maybe I will have enough to fill him. I didn't know he already had grain in there. I thought he was empty. cutting a path for the tractor so I can get through, so I can dump the combine and then fill the truck and then get back to this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. It's just so much fun. I actually do love this. I'm kind of giddy. There was some pretty cool moments, the sun setting and the combine's lights on, beautiful sunset, and it just, life's great, it really is.
That's it for this field.
I think we're done after this. Probably park these things, get ready to shut them down for the night. And I'm gonna have a full cart. I think they're gonna get 85, 95,000 pounds on that baby. Yeah, fully loaded, it's 220,000 pounds. That's like putting the grain perfectly in every corner. Welcome back, guys. We're still rolling. I think we're sitting at about a third of the spring wheat harvested, almost a third. So we got some time left. We're gonna push hard this whole next week, see what we can do, and weather lets us, the equipment keeps running strong, we'll get a lot cut next week. But it's ripening about as fast as we're getting into it. We're kind of following the ripeness around. There's a couple fields that just are not even close to being ready, and then there's some that are right on the edge of being ready. I'm gonna take this for a little more spin, and then I think it's time I train someone to run it, so that I can run some combine action, because I have had very little combine time. And I've noticed a lot of you have said, Nick, you need to get in that combine. We miss you being in the combine. I know, but look at that thing. It's hard to not want to be in that. But yes, you're right. I would like to get some combine time in. Gotta get it all, whole experience. Let's go. All right, shuttling vehicles. That's what we do in the morning. Yeah, still got 1,600 gallons in there. My patch job is not dripping. Look at that bulge. Not good. Yeah, that's a weak spot on those tanks. Gonna have to find a replacement tank for this thing. But anyways, yeah, let's move this equipment over to the new location. So we'll have water on site for when the worst case scenario happens. We got a big fire. I'm ready to handle it. So repeat. You guys hear that a lot? Well, that's true. I think this thing's ready to roll, fire-wise. We just finished all the stuff up north. I think we're out of acres that are ready to go up there. We were kind of pushing in some. I mean, it'll blend fairly well. When I say blend, I mean the ripe stuff that's low moisture percentage will blend off with the high moisture percentage wheat or grain. And then hopefully when it's in the bin, there won't be pockets of wet stuff and it'll dry, hopefully, evenly together. So we're done with all that. Now, the issue is, our storage situation is kind of changing. The large 28,000 bushel bin that we had erected, the last of the 3 big bins, well, the concrete still needs another couple days to cure. They say good 3 weeks. It hasn't been 3 weeks yet, so we're gonna give it 3 weeks. So we're not gonna start filling that. The other bins, the 8,000 bushel bins, we're on the last one right now. We're just about to top it off. After that, all of our bin storage is way up north where we've got some land that's not ready yet. We want to put all that in there. And then around here, the other bins that we'd like to save for our chickpeas. So, we've got that Lofness grain bagger, and we've got a bunch more bags. So I think we're gonna start bagging, which means this cart and this tractor are gonna get put to use, because that's how you load that grain bagger, really is, with a grain cart like this. So the question is, because the fields are within a mile of the bagger, do we load the trucks to go over to load an auger, or to run through an auger to load this thing to load the grain bagger? Or do I just drive this in the field, chase the combines, fill the grain cart up, and then head to the bagger, do a little cross-country trip, drive all the way to the bagger, load the bagger, and then run back to the combines? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I guess we'll just kind of try one and see how it goes, and then switch to the other if it doesn't. Still loving the Pro 1200, by the way. That thing is sweet. Okay, let's go make a game plan. Find what the guys are doing. And who brought all this dust over here? It's me. I did. Got a plan figured out. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna shuttle grain with the grain cart and the 620 quad to the bagger to fill the bags from about a mile away. Shouldn't be that bad. I'll be driving to the fields, lots of compaction, lots of dirt, lots of dust. Oh wait, we got tracks. So maybe not as much compaction. Not that it's that big a deal here. But the dust is good for the tracks, the chaff, all that stuff. It keeps the tracks from warming up. So if I'm gonna be roading this thing, that's the place to be doing it. So let's kick it into high gear. Oh, that's gross. Look at the kochia and the chickpeas. Not as bad on that side. That side. This is what happens when you grow crops that don't have great herbicides to back up weed control. But we'll be able to manage it because we're gonna have to desiccate this stuff. Not something we like to do, but that's the only way to take care of that much plant material that's green to be able to process the chickpeas through the combines. Otherwise, that's just gonna plug the combines. So we gotta dry that down to be able to harvest these chickpeas. But we're gonna go about another week and a half, 2 weeks before we get into the chickpeas, so it might work out. Maybe it'll dry a little bit before then, but look at all that weed seed we're creating. Ugh. Dad's got a broken section. Those crop lifters, the pickup guards, you guys remember a couple of videos back and I was like, I hate these things, but we gotta run them. Yep, still hating them. They break so much. And maybe, what I guess the best way to explain it is it's like taking a rake and raking the ground at 4 to 6 miles an hour, and then every time you hit a little rock, the rock bounces up and gets right into the section, or the sickle, and bam, there goes the guard, there goes the section. So these guys have been stopped constantly repairing their headers because they just beat up headers. But if you've got 10, 15, 20% of your crop on the ground, well, cover that over a couple thousand acres and there's some money there. So you gotta pick it up. We have to do it. It's just part of the game. But some of the land has been really bad, some of it's not been as bad. We're kind of in between. Because this tractor is so new, the techs told me to feel these lugs on the inside here and see, after I've ran it much, if there's a hot spot on one side versus the other side. And that can mean that the tractor out of alignment and they have to realign them. And I guess it's a pretty common thing when they're brand new like this to get them finally dialed in and tuned and the tracks broke in. They also said it's really good for tracks to have dirt in it like this. That's good. You wouldn't think so. Usually putting dirt and rocks and all kinds of straw and stuff like that is bad, but no, it's good. It lubricates the track, keeps the heat down, keeps things slippery, because this is rubber on rubber. That's all rubber, and that's all rubber. It's laminated on top of that casting wheel there. So it's interesting. I'm not like that knowledgeable on tracks, so for the non-track people out there, there's some information for you. And when you break a section, this is what happens. You get a skip. And that's money you're not making, though. That's not a lot of wheat on the ground there. And at the current prices of wheat, that's like a penny. But it adds up over time, so it's worth catching. You don't want to have skips. Plus all your farmer neighbors, while I drive by, they're like,
what are those guys doing leaving wheat in the field?
You're all laughing. You know it's true. Don't deny it. These flagship combines, I just love how little belts and pulleys are on these things. Maintenance on these things daily is like hardly anything. Just a couple 50 hours. Actually, I don't even know that. It's mainly just a couple 100 hours, and then a couple 200 hours, then like a 600-hour grease. I mean, there's just not a lot to happen between checking oil and cleaning the air cleaner. It's awesome. Hi, Goobers. What are you doing out of the combine? What are you doing? You just hanging out with Grandpa? Okay, I won't back up. That's not a good place to be. Don't worry, we watch out for you. Yeah, you're gonna go back in the combine. Okay, I'm thinking 2 more dumps, then let's go fill a bag. Let's see, what am I at? 70,600 pounds. So I'm at 63% full of the cart capacity. I've got 41% of the weight is on the front half of the cart, which is good because I want some of that weight to be on the drawbar and not on the back end, so it doesn't, well, go drawbar high. But let's see if we can throw some more weight on there. I got Dad pulling up here right now. He's gonna dump his load in there. That'll add another 16,000 pounds or something, depending on what he's got in his combine, and then we'll grab the other one, and I should be plumb full. And let's make the trip to the bagger. Okay, he's just finishing up in it. I'm gonna have to make this fast, because the thing is, we're gonna try to do this without trucks. I'll try to grab what Chad's got on his combine, see if he can stuff it in there without spilling all over the ground, and go dump the bag and get back in time. Oh yeah. These combines don't have the adjustable spouts at the end of the auger, so you can't tilt it forward and toss it in the corners. But he's doing a pretty good job. It seems to be flowing pretty well. I've wanted to come up here and watch this happen to see just how that grain flows along the top of this. Usually we end up putting a pile towards the front just because we're not getting that close to the header while we're dumping on the go. He'll get it all in here. I'm sure he will. Let's get this thing started for him. Oh no. Battery's dead. Okay, Wiggles gonna go get the jump pack. I don't know, that's a brand new battery. Must have a drain or some kind of electrical leech on the system somewhere. It's pulling it down. That or the key got left on or something, I don't know. It was clicking, so it wasn't 100% dead. That's the important part. Fortunately, we have a jump pack now on the farm. Thank you, Matt. Combines are filling up right now, and we're not dumping. This idea of trying to keep up with the combines doing this, I don't know if this is gonna work.
There we go. Good deal. Okay.
All right, let's do this. See if we can keep up with this thing. Pretty sure this cart can overload that Loftus bagger, but you know what? Who knows? I might be surprised. I've got the gates open about 50%, so I've got to be doing about 500 bushels a minute. And it's taking it. I don't like pushing stuff to the max, but I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to open this thing up more. Let's do it. Let's go to 70%. Okay. Bagger's running at 70%. Or not bagger, the cart. Oh, starting to fill at the top. Oh, slow back. Okay, that's the max right there. All right. So I just started to mount it. Now, technically they could run probably the bagger tractor a little faster, PTO speed, but I think they got the sweet spot and they don't want to change it. I don't want to do it either, but that's cool, man. That thing takes a lot of grain. What am I down to? I've got 54,000 pounds left of wheat in this cart. So we've already dumped over 40,000 pounds. Bag ripped. Some on the corner there, I don't know why. Started catching the bag and ripped it. Probably was going through too much.
It watered up and it rolled that up.
Oh man.
Made a golf ball and wouldn't get it, and then just started ripping it out.
You know, strip the whole edge there. Well, that stinks. We're gonna need trucks. We're gonna have to do trucks. Looks like the rope that was wrapped around holding the bungee cords must have somehow caught the plastic and caused it to bind up in a little ball. And then it just started ripping and ripped the whole streak there. So we're gonna just keep that rope off, try to get the grain out of the side there, and I guess just keep filling it. That's what we were told. So yeah, Bag down, bag down. Okay, round two. We're gonna try this again. There's just gonna be about a 2-foot slit in that bag, but we'll have to try to patch that up afterwards, clean up the grain around it, see if we can patch it up if we can. But I'm gonna go ahead and feed this thing some grain again. A little slower. Maybe a little slower. Is that a good idea? All right, about a 3-foot tear in the bag. We'll deal with it later. I'm gonna head back to the field. But we got all 95,000 pounds, or whatever it was, more than that, offloaded. So I'm gonna head to combines. Let's roll. Looks like my dad is plumb full. Chad went ahead and took the other combine. He's just gonna go ahead and dump directly in the bag because this field's done. So he's rode the combine back. Gonna load the bagger with the combine. I'll go ahead and get Dad here because he didn't quite finish the field and he is full. So I'll take whatever he's got left here and then move on to the next field. Just a little strip left. I figured I'd just take the weight. I'd rather have the cart and the quad haul the weight as the combine drives back rather than the combine, just because, well, two things. Those aren't ours, so I'd rather put the wear and tear on that. And two, the final drives and combines are a little bit lighter than that thing. So anytime we got a road combines with weight in them, you can get it off on the trucks or the carts and let that take the abuse. That's the way to go. This right here, on the other hand, this is my neighbor's canola crop. We border right up next to him, and it's different. I think this might be a fish food variety or this could be an invigor. Not quite like mustard. Anyways, we almost grew some canola this year. Oh, it's amazing how tiny that seed is. Canola's a pretty amazing crop. There's some pretty big yields out there, and there's also some pretty not very good yields. I'm curious to see how this turns out for him. A couple years back, he blew it out of the park and had a killer canola crop, and this year, I don't know. We'll see how it is, but I really want to incorporate some of this on the farm. I really would. The tap roots on these things are amazing. You can't see it, but there's a big tap root that goes down a ways, and it's known for pulling up quite a bit of nutrients that normally is not accessible to like crops like wheat. A lot of good things about canola. It's just another crop to worry about, but being an oilseed crop, I'd be a good rotation to put in. It's just, we're just so dry here. It's just hard to guarantee a decent crop. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe next year, maybe we should do some canola. What do you think? Back to the bagger. And this time, let's not rip it. What do you guys think? Did I overfill it too fast? I mean, technically, you would think the bagger, if it started to mound in the hopper, couldn't overfill because it's going as fast as the auger and the bagger can supply the bag. So I kind of doubt we were overfilling it. I think it was just a weird, kind of freaky accident that normally wouldn't happen, where the bag happened to get caught in the rope that holds the bungee cord and caused a little rip. That's my guess. But I could probably bag a little slower. All right, there we go. Next field. Still bunching up a little bit down there?
Yeah, but like Scott said, they need to go that way more. Find different hooks.
Here's the rip right here. You can see the little bulge right there where it caught. We just won't mess with this much right now. We'll let it just sit and figure out exactly how to do that. But got a little squiggle in this. Lost our line. Yeah, looks like got about 90,000 pounds on this thing. Let's just go ahead and take it to the grain bagger. It's taking a little while to get the baby full. Wheat's not yielding as good as I would have hoped. I was really kind of hoping some of us would push that 40 bushel an acre. We did have a field or two that did, but I think it's going to average mid-30s probably, about the same as the peas really, which, you know, is pretty typical, I guess. It's just, when grain prices are as low as they are, it'd be nice to have another couple more bushels to make up the difference. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, there's still some good acres left to cut. We'll find out what they come out to be. But let's go bag this. Okay, well, that took roughly 2.5 minutes to dump 1,500 bushels at about half gate percentage, or 50% gates open. So that's pretty good. That's not bad time at all. I didn't push it any harder. I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna keep it right where it's at. It's flowing fine. And as far as I know, no rips, bag's good. Let's go back to the field. That's it for the night. I think we're gonna shut her down about 11 o'clock. Good time to go and get showered and go to bed. Take a day tomorrow. Finish the fields in the area, so that's what we wanted to do. And so far, shuttling the grain with the grain cart's working out pretty good. No more tears. Oh boy, maybe not. There might be a big tear in the bag on that one spot. I think it's still tearing. Oh boy, that's too bad. Okay, we'll take a look at that in the morning.